All right, hello and welcome back. How's it going, Kings Island? Everyone having a good time? I love it. All right, well, if you're here in the park, hello, welcome to PiviP. If you are watching back at home on Twitch, welcome back to our tournament portion of the broadcast. So I do have a list of sponsors that I would like to thank, first of all, without whom this event would not be possible. First off, of course, Kings Island for hosting us here at this event. We'd also like to thank Origin PC, our PC sponsor, as well as Cougar Gaming, the Discord Hype Squad, Envision Cinemas, Miami University, Diversion Arcade, Hilo Nutrition, Cincinnati Bell, and Monster Energy Drink. Now, if you are here at the park, we have tons of stuff going on, not just here at Fest House, but also throughout this whole area. There's cosplay going on. Cincinnati Bell is hosting an open Fortnite tournament for you guys to enter here at the park if you would like. We've also got some raffles going on over here to your left, to my right, past the stage. We have some video games you can play. We have just so much going on, and we're so glad that you're here. Up next, we will have some Fortnite tournaments happening here on the main stage. I know you guys are all so excited for it. Let's give it up for Fortnite. Yes, I love this energy. I am so excited that you guys are all here with me, but I guess that's really all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for joining me, but for now, I am going to hand it over to your esteemed Fortnite casters, Bob and Captain 16. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fortnite tournament for today's PiviP. I don't know, what is this, convention? Tournament? Event extravaganza. Welcome, everybody, to the Fortnite event. It should be a fun time. I'm excited to be here, live in the Fest Hall, and hello to everyone out there in chat as well.
Yeah, so I mean, these players have been competing and qualifying over the past few months. They're here to see what they got, but they're also filled hall with people who've been hanging around in the park, grabbing lunch. So it's gonna be a good time here. I mean, we got between 20,000 and 40,000 people in the park right now, walking around, meeting people like Markiplier, watching all the tournaments. We got League of Legends coming up, we got Overwatch coming up, and as you can see right there, that's the crowd out there ready to see some of these players compete here in Fortnite today. So
yeah, this should be an interesting setting for some of these players. We do have some teams here that have competed, some in other states, some in other events. But this is a very packed Fest House with some fans ready for some Fortnite action out there in the crowd. So the format of the tournament is going to be a duos tournament, 4 teams of 2 competing to rack up basically as many kills as they can.
It's going to be an elimination-based tournament here today. So we're going to play best of 3, and then again, it is going to be 2 duos are going to join a party. They're going to compete for the most eliminations, and if it comes down to a tiebreaker, it's going to be whatever team survived the longest, and if they do net themselves a victory royale, they're going to get 3 points for their team as well. So,
absolutely. I'm on the wrong page. Excuse me. So yeah, you saw the stage there. It's going to be a fun competition. I'm still on the wrong page, man. This is what happens when you put me in charge of documents. There you go. The teams. So we have a diverse roster of teams on the stage competing today. We have some high school students, some college students, and some post-college brothers, I believe.
Yeah.
So we are going to have 4 teams. Team Hole, H-O-L. There's no pronunciation.
Yep,
H-O-L. H-O-L. We have Team Minnesota Nice. We have the Ashland University Gold, and we also have HP Esports.
Yeah.
So a pretty interesting crowd.
Yeah.
Some on controllers, I believe some on keyboard and mouse as well.
Yeah, they've been warming up for the past, I think almost the past hour. I was talking to some of the players out back. Some are controller, some are mouse and keyboard. And as you mentioned, diverse group of players. If you look at their background here, I mean, we have a set of brothers here, but we also have some students here from Ashland University that are actually on scholarship. And one's a freshman, one's a sophomore. And they've actually, Chance, who's up on stage right now, he's a sophomore, and Servo's a freshman, and they've actually almost qualified for the World Cups for Fortnite. So we have some great competition, and you can see them on the stage warming up, kind of flicking their wrists back and forth. I'm really excited to see what they can do here when it comes to an elimination-style tournament.
All right, it does look like we've got the players dropping into the match. Some settings there are being fiddled with. We do have everyone out of the battle bus. It looks like our squad on the left there.
We got Minnesota Knights, which is terrific, and then his brother Matt is on our right there, and then on our left is going to be... Let's just see if we can find them. That's going to be HP Esports. We got HP and we got Moldies there.
Right.
So very, very different drops here. We got a Dusty Divot and then a Fatal Fields. Ever since the most recent update with Slipstreams, Fatal Fields has been a very hot contested location with the reboot van and then also the Slipstream to allow you to get in it. So they could take an early fight on very, very quickly here.
Yeah, it looks like at the divot on the left there, already a little bit of competition. Both players have weapons here, but I think I saw an enemy somewhere around them. So they might have to face an early fight. No shields for anyone yet on the board. These early moments, always a little tense before you get the shields, before you're really geared up. No one's looking to take that early fight with the silenced SMG. It's not optimal. It does look like top left player there starting to get some pretty decent loot.
Yeah.
But top right, is he spotted someone? Looks like they might be aggressing over in Fatal Fields.
Yeah, it looks like they did
a
have
big barn there.
Yeah, a squad drop there. With some of the most recent updates, it's going to be very interesting to see how these players come. Like we just had a brand new update, nerfed the drum gun, changed up some things. As you mentioned, you got a silent SMG. So these players are just kind of mad up. And another thing that's really new with Season 9 with the UI changes, these players can't actually see how many kills their opponents have. So they're going to have to play their game 1, see where they're at game 2, and then play off that. They can't change strategies mid-match here. So.
Yeah, well, and this format for the tournament is interesting too because they have the potential to go straight into 2v4 situations, which is always rough, especially early game. You never know when you might get caught in an awkward situation, separated or with poor loot at the start there. It looks like everyone's getting a pretty casual start, even though they both went to generally pretty contested areas. It looks like they're going to be able to get their first loot, get out of the early game, and rotate and try and find some kills, go hunting a little bit here.
Yeah, I would expect that they're going to start pushing, looking for those rotations where the bus spawn went. All players have 0 kills here, trying to straight out shields here. And as you mentioned with these 2v4 fights, the reboot van that came in a previous update makes it a little interesting too, because you could be fighting a team and then they could get a reboot off and you're facing a full team of 4 rather than 2 or even 1 at this point. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they progress, where they stay. Neither team's in the circle, and they need to start hunting for these kills early on if they want to make an impact in game number 1.
I do think in this format too, the reboot ban is an interesting mechanic in terms of hunting, because it's such a big signal when that reboot van is going off. It's this huge sign in the sky that's like, here's some free kills. You're going to have maybe a full squad there waiting for you, but they are sort of vulnerable, sort of exposed. Most of the vans are at least partially in the open, and that does expose that squad to be sort of picked off. So that may be a strategy. Still early to see if we're going to see that in this game.
But it definitely comes down to if you see a player attempting to reboot, do you let him reboot and you're confident you can pick up 2, 3, 4 more kills, or do you just take out that one player, net yourself an easy point? I mean, they've seen absolutely no one. Very interesting here, and I think they're just going to start rotating, looking for kills, and keeping an eye on where they are. They're very spread out, but they're going to be forced both to the east side of that circle, so they may start taking some fights with each other and trying to steal some of those kills. Yeah,
absolutely. It looks like HP Esports on the right there are pushing up to the north. Not sure if they're going to go into Salty, but maybe they're going to start doing a little recon in the area, see if they can find a squad to pursue, find an angle to take advantage of here. It looks like they are just going to fly, use those slipstreams up to the platform.
Yeah, and it looks like
there, fly in
he
right
does see a
Salty.
player right there at that fence looking, he's farming up some mats, so this may be the first elimination or first contact that we see. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. In the open, he's got the is that the combat shotgun in the bottom right there, just waiting for a good peek?
Yeah, so it actually looks like that's the hunting rifle. So he's got a hunting rifle, and he has the AK, the heavy assault rifle here. So it looks like his teammate's going to drop in very, very hot here and get very aggressive.
Yeah, the top right player down on shields, one by one himself in there, dropping down, getting a tack shot off, but no damage done.
Oh, but he gets knocked with that trap there.
Yeah, that was a nice move in the one by one. Maybe a chance here to drop in and get some shields off.
I'm expecting he's going to clean up that kill, make sure he guarantees the point.
Absolutely.
pick up the new tactical assault rifle. That's a brand new gun that just came out this past week as well. It uses light ammo, and it's the laser beam. It's very, very tight spread, does great damage close quarter. But what's so interesting is that Minnesota Nice on the left here, they have to see that those fights are happening. I'm curious if they're going to look to pick up maybe the rest of that team or try to contest here, or if they're just going to go look for a brand new team themselves.
Does look like some more shots being traded. HP aggressing towards a new enemy there. Ooh, RPG in play, though. That's going to make building up towards that roof really dangerous.
Yeah.
That tack shot was very close. That player is going to be one shot potentially there.
And that player,
there is the knock for HP.
There comes the knock there, and as you can see, it looks like Minnesota Nice has decided to join this fight as well. They've pushed into Salty Springs as well. They don't want to give up any kills here. But just like that, it looks like our player top right is going to be knocked out. So his teammate has 80 seconds to reboot him at this point.
Bottom right there, going for another thirst. So HP coming in with 4 kills.
Yeah, 4
locked
kills
down between them so far. Minnesota Nice yet to secure a final kill there.
And it looks like our other player in Minnesota Ice was also knocked as well. So trying to get those reboots and fight here right now.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is going to potentially be a little bit of teamwork between the competitors here. If it looks like HP's going for the reboot first, but if Minnesota is able to finish this fight and then get that reboot card, they might both be able to get back to full strength here.
And what's so interesting when you look at this, the way the tournament is structured here, great tack shots, but it looks like he's not going to finish, and that means Minnesota Nice, because he couldn't pick up his teammate's reboot card, they're going to be out, and HP Esports can just sit and be very comfortable now, play their game, get as many kills as they want here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. For Minnesota Nice there, I think they had a good idea coming in, trying to contest those kills, trying not to let HP Esports have those for free, but doesn't pan out, and now we're going to go on board here with looks like I don't know, it's a little obscured there.
Yeah, so top left.
On board with HP Esports.
HP Esports here. So we have HP and then we have Moldies. And so some of the facts about this team is that they actually, this is their first tournament ever competing together. And Moldies actually won his one of his first 3 Battle Royale games. And he got hooked at that point. And he wanted to play CSGO competitively, but he was too young. So he looked at Fortnite, he looked at the opportunity there, and he just jumped full in there.
Yeah, so both players back up, finding another fight here, kind of in an open field. It's going to probably turn into a little bit of a build-off if they end up pushing each other. Actually, on the high ground from the right there, HP's going to get pushed in on this. Maybe an odd man fight. HP may be a little bit outnumbered, but going for the build-up there, trying to get a little bit of secured high ground.
Yeah, nice smokes there, but he's going to smoke himself. This player going to drop a nice 35 headshot there.
Ooh, another nice shotgun shot there at range. Dropping down, gets the knock.
Nice shots there.
They're going to be able to get that thirst with follow-up tack shots. So another kill secured here for HP.
Yeah, so this team playing they're playing very comfortable together, taking fights, pushing separate, and able to clean up here. Looks like that should be an easy wipe, and that's a whole squad wipe
right there for HP.
And so at least 6 kills for them, but right now here comes, unfortunately, with some of the mobility with that wind tunnel, you're going to have players popping out with the sky base and HP Sports very far from the circle. There was a redeploy, so they could get a porter rift, so they can get away if need be, but they're going to try to heal up now. And
yeah, it looks like that even if that team pushes them pretty aggressively, they should be able to get a couple minis off here, get some shields up, and get ready to fight. It's going to be kind of an awkward fight, though. It looks like they're right on them. A trap in this 1-by-1. Very cheeky play. Gets the down, too. Saves himself there with that trap. The player did not get the kill fast enough, and the thirst comes through. Another kill secured. Probably 8 kills there, 7 kills.
Yeah, so 5 kills for him, so probably
players.
looking 7 to 8 as a team right there. That was a thirst. That means there are other players lurking around. I mean, they have the heals and the mobility to get out of there. So at this point, they're just playing very, very comfortably. I would like to see them just continue this pace. Like, they have a far way to go, but they also don't have anything to lose, and they don't have to go big in this first game. So, just play your game, get your kills. It looks like his teammate did get knocked there, so he's going to go for that reboot card.
Ooh, another trap there to get a little space in the 1-by-1.
Yep.
I feel like HP is really fortunate here. They've had a lot of fights, but it seems like people are the take the L dance comes out on the down player. But they've had all these fights are coming and they're trickling in. They're fighting one person at a time.
Yep.
They've had a lot of 2v1 situations. It's just been advantageous for the format that we're playing here. They've been able to get a lot of these kills pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and if you're Minnesota Nice, again, with this structure of the game mode, like these games can play out like this. Anything can happen. HP Esports, had a pretty nice start and salty, but next game it could be completely flipped. They could get eliminated right away and whatnot, but as you can see, this win vent is just going to allow him to get right into the circle. He has the reboot card, so he can bring his teammate back, and they can just keep getting a few more kills. So it looks like they have marked that reboot van over in Shifty Shafts, and they're going to head over there to hopefully get that reboot as quickly as possible.
Yeah, this is a potentially a tense moment here. Shifty tends to be not necessarily populated at this point in the game, but lots of rotates through, and it looks like there is a player right here waiting to receive 30 health remaining here, going for the push, going for the aggression. Going to have to hit some really good shots.
And unable to connect there.
Just unable to win that fight from that position.
And it was really unfortunate because the mechanics of the reboot van kind of messed him up there. You can't build inside the reboot van. So he chose to put up a wall. He can't block that shot, but a great performance. And they're sitting very comfortably with over probably 7-8 kills right now. So if I were them, just play that game again. They're going to like smooth sailing. Yeah,
that's definitely HP going to be feeling good after that sort of warm-up game. Very comfortable for them.
Yeah.
And a good number of kills. And unfortunate for Minnesota Nice there. Yeah. Not able to secure anything, but that does not necessarily say a lot about their chances.
Like
you said, they could be the exact opposite this round. They just need to get a solid start and get those favorable engages, like we saw HP taking several times there in that first round.
It's going to be very interesting to see how they play that. Are they going to shadow their opponents? Are they going to drop with them to make sure they don't give up any unnecessary kills? Or are they going to drop really hot, try to get started very, very quickly here? Get a few kills under their belt and then kind of flow in there. I mean, I think they had a great plan to come in and snag some of those kills, but unfortunately, we saw HP Esports has no issues taking fights alone against a full squad. They were able to stay alive a little bit longer, get the reboots off, and I think Minnesota Nice, he tried to pick up that reboot card while he was taking that fight because he heard the reboot happening behind him. And if he would have grabbed that card, he would have had his teammate back in the fight, potentially fighting out. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out moving into game number 2 here. So.
And it certainly, if we look at the player notes that we have here, it certainly seems like Minnesota Nice should have a good shot in this sort of tournament format. It says that their preferred way to practice is to just 1v1 each other on the server, which means that both of these guys work on their aim, probably pretty confident with tack shotties, pretty confident building and close range fighting. So hopefully this next round they can get a solid start and they can get the sort of luck that HP had there, get some good fights. So yeah, Minnesota probably looking to do better than they did, but absolutely still with a good chance to bring it back and to have a good showing in the second match here.
It looks like they're going to load in now. So that on your screen you do see Minnesota Nice. Those two are the brothers there. Unfortunately, they did not net themselves any kills in game number 1, so they're looking for a big game here in game number 2. Hopefully, pushing this to a game number 3, because all HP Esports needs to do is do what they just did, stay ahead, and then they're going to be going on to the finals.
And an interesting distinction, I meant to talk about this, I forget if we touched on it, but Minnesota Nice, both brothers actually play on controllers. So this is, the games are running on Origin PCs. This is a PC version of Fortnite, but both of them using wired controllers, which, depending on how you see it, may be kind of a disadvantage. They're going to be going up against mouse and keyboard players, but they're probably not going up against people competing in a tournament, people who practice. So, you might see that as a disadvantage, but also these guys are practiced good.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to know if they play on PC at home with controllers as well, because if you're playing on a console with a controller, you're against other console players. But if you're used to playing, some of the best Fortnite players in the world right now, PC with controllers, and they do just well. So I don't think Minnesota Nice has anything to worry about here. And as you see the drop location, it looks like they're sticking to the exact same drop locations as game number 1.
Yeah, going right back to it. I mean, and it worked out really well for both teams last time. Minnesota did not fare so well once the fighting started.
Yeah.
But they did have good early game. They got decent loot, and they were able to get out of their drops without too much
really
harassment. It looks like HP's dropping into quite a mess over there.
I was curious if they were going to pop that slipstream to get out of there. There's at least 2 teams. I counted 6 other players there. So this right here, if they take an unfavorable fight and get knocked early here, for Minnesota Nice, they just need to match those kills from game number 1 to take it to game number 3. But it looks like we have HP Esports taking a fight right away with that tack shotgun again.
Yep, tack shot at range. That player builds himself into that little barn there, but they probably don't have much. They might have a gun. but this is going to be probably waiting for help as much as anything else.
Yeah.
And HP Esports.
Looks like he went for a
not
quick
wanting that
edit
help
there,
to
though.
come.
I don't know if he got that wall, but a player comes into
Ooh,
trying to
the
pickaxe
corn.
him here.
Yeah, that is optimistic. I think the tack shot is going to have a good chance against the no loot pickaxe there, but still numbers. The taunt coming in, and it works, drawing someone out and getting a nice body shot there, chipping away at those shields.
Yeah, and as you can see at the bottom right, you see that his teammate is putting that cover fire in from behind, so trying to assist him.
And there's elimination there for HP Esports, getting the first kill on the board this round.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the kill feed right there, HP Esports, we cut over to Minnesota Nice, actually had 3 eliminations.
Yeah,
so he picked up that entire.
We missed that.
we missed that entire fight right there. Sometimes you're watching a lot of different things, but Minnesota Nice is now down by probably 9 kills in game number 2, so they have to go big. So I'm curious, and as you see in the kill feed, look, it looks like we have HP Esports in the kill feed getting more kills as well. So looks like they've eliminated that entire team in Fatal and probably taken on that second team.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Moldy is getting quite low. Both players on HP getting quite low, but still fighting, using the corn for cover, using those shotguns when the opponent's too close, getting close on a knock there. That was yellow damage onto that player on the ramp. So
sitting
potentially
under
6 kills coming out of this.
Yeah, 6 kills
if
out
HP
of
wins their drop here.
And they have all the loot in Fatal Fields. Oh, but there we see the knock on Moldy's. I'm not sure if that player is in the corner or not. It looks like he's trying to look for him or just kind of maybe bait out his teammate.
Yeah, this low health fight in the corner is super tense too.
And look at that
Basically, one
85
shot
headshot in the corner. Doesn't even see the player, gets the knock.
Gets the thirst. The shots coming in at an awkward angle. More players in the corn here. HP hanging on by a thread, but just crouching, playing super patient, using line of sight here. That player is going to be 1 shot away with the tack shot. There's got to be 2, maybe 3 enemies here up at most, and HP just chipping away, landing another weak shot there.
Slow. He has 6 shots in his pistol to finish this fight here. So I'll be very curious to see if he retreats, maybe tries to snag that reboot card, but if you're Minnesota Nice right now, you need to put yourself in this position to start picking up some kills because HP Esports could be sitting out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I mean, even if HP leaves it at this, the way it is right now, that is a strong enough performance that Minnesota's going to have to find some good fights, do some hunting, really rack up some kills to bring it back here. Bandages, helpful, but probably not what we're looking for. Literally 6 bullets in the pistol there, probably not enough to finish off those last 2 opponents. Looks like he's heading for the reboot bus. Maybe going to use that to bait out the enemies, or maybe just going to try and get it off and get out of dodge as quick as possible.
Well, we're going to switch over to Minnesota Nice here. It looks like they're taking a fight as well. They are both 100-100. Nice stink nades. Just trying to. It looks like this is almost a third party. So it looks like they're trying to clean up these kills right now.
Looks like they're swinging in on some action that was happening here in Salty. Hopefully they'll get a nice cleanup on a team that's weak or down a player or 2. Looks like they might be holed up in this house, actually. Some fresh builds down there on the first floor. So it's going to be kind of a tight quarters push if they do push inside, but Minnesota Nice using
Looks like they
bombs.
did get a knock in the kill feed. So he's terrific, did get that knock, and they're going to just swarm this basement trying to get as many kills as possible.
Yeah, it looks like this team is trapped actually in that basement, which you can sort of create another way out the back, but this is going to be awkward for the enemy team here. Trapped down low, and that's going to be a squad wipe. 4 kills on the board. Oh no, we're back on board with...
So I believe this is still Minnesota Nice because you see Terrific is one of the brothers of Minnesota Nice. But while this fight was happening, what we didn't get to see in Fatal Fields is the other member of HP Esports looks like he has been knocked. So now Minnesota Nice in a great opportunity to shorten that kill gap and see if they can maybe push this to a game 3.
Yeah, we are currently watching Terrific, who has 4 kills. Haven't seen what Johnson show has, but that is a good start into the round. They're going to need to med back up, get ready for another fight. But
and of the 2 brothers, so Derek is terrific. Derek Johnson being terrific here claims that he is better than Matt, and I find it very, very interesting because if you look at the advice for HP Sports, they make sure your dual partners are your friends so you get along. And now we have 2 brothers that a little bit of banter here. Very interesting to see how they play this out. Almost in the exact same situation that HP Sports was last game. Same circle, same rotation, but they are favorable here, so they can just take this skybase wherever they want, pick up those kills, maybe try to clean up. 43 people still left in the lobby. There's plenty of people, or 41, I guess. Plenty of people left to take on here.
And I do really like the loadout that Terrific's got here. It looks like he's got the heavy sniper, combat shotgun, and a gray AR there. Excuse me, but. this is going to be a nice mid-range, long-range sort of get a knock, get aggressive. That's a good way to initiate a fight, especially if you're coming in a disadvantaged situation, a 2v4 or 2v3 situation.
And what's very interesting here is that it does look like that for HP Esports, they did pick up that reboot card before he died, so that if Minnesota Nice does get knocked and thirsted and it's one player left and he gets that reboot card, if he reboots his teammate, he's going to bring back HP Esports back into the game and potentially finish off that game getting some more kills. So I'm very interested to see if they play a lot tighter, and because if we wipe a whole team and you have a reboot card, you bring the other team back at that point, and you could be giving away some free kills. So we'll see if that plays into the game at all. But sitting on this brand new Skybase in Season 9, they have a lot of mobility. They can jump off, healing up now, and I mean, as you mentioned, 2 minis, a med kit, a heavy sniper, the combat shotgun. They're sitting pretty comfortably with a good loot set to finish out this game.
Yeah, absolutely. A great spot here to try and get some info, too. Looking over Dusty, they might, not a lot of rotation through Dusty, but definitely around. They have a good angle on a lot of the slipstream on the side, and it does look like off to their northwest there, they've spotted some people on the low ground and some aggression coming out.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to take this push, but as soon as they push, it looks like they're going to get tagged up from behind, so they may be in between the same team or a different team. So for them, this could be disastrous for them.
Yeah, so far, not a lot of damage coming in on the Minnesota guys, which is a good start to this fight, but it looks like they need to sort of recombobulate. Ooh, players on the high ground above them. Heavy sniper shot just misses there.
So close with that snipe.
That would have been a great way to turn this fight around, but right now that guy on the high ground has really got them between a rock and a hard place. Looks like they have an enemy building up onto their position here. Ooh, all shields going down there for terrific. Down to 42 health. Big crowd of enemies in front of them.
And unable to connect there. And as you mentioned, that heavy sniper shot would have been great there. So it looks like, based on the kill from last one, it looks like HP Esports most likely is going to move on here in those first 2 games. But that sniper shot could have been all the difference there from that third quarter. So.
Yeah, really unfortunate. That could have absolutely given them just one quick down to turn that fight. But yeah, that's a big change. I feel like if that had been a pump shotgun as opposed to a combat shotgun in that situation, that fight may have gone differently as well. So the new meta affecting that close-range fight that came out there.
And the fact that these players are also playing in a public lobby rather than the arena game mode, a lot of these players are very competitive. They play some on college esports team. They're probably used to the health on kill that you see in typical competitive Fortnite. So you got to realize there that a knock there and then a thirst, you get your health back, could change the tide of the fight. So these players may need to adjust how they play moving forward in the tournament, but we saw a great performance from HP Esports, and I'm curious to see if they keep that going into the finals, and if they can keep that momentum in game number 1 that they play.
Yeah, absolutely, and it did seem like the first round, just a little unfortunate luck for Minnesota Nice, but also maybe they sort of settled in. I believe was them, this is their first big competition, is that?
I actually think that was HP Esports. This is their first tournament that they're entering together here. So for a first tournament here in front of a crowd here at Kings Island, I mean, that's a pretty good performance moving into the finals here. So,
yeah, definitely a solid start, and going to be feeling good.
Got some people waving over in the crowd at the Twitch chat here. Some Ohio State shirts there, but yeah, I mean, game number 1 went pretty. Match number 1 went pretty. It's how I expected it. I expected one team to potentially pop, and I was really curious how Minnesota Nice was going to come back here, and it almost seemed, as you mentioned, they almost settled. They picked the exact same drop location, and it looked like there was no one there when they dropped the Dusty Divot. And I understand you wanted to loot up before you take a fight, but when you start seeing kills happening in fatal fields for HP Esports, you expect that rotation to come a little quicker, try to get to where the kills are, picks them up, because if HP Esports had not died there, they would have been looking at 6-7 more kills that they probably would have come out in that fight. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, and it was impressive. We don't get to hear the comms on our end, but I do wonder. It seemed like there was a lot more consistency in the fighting from HP. Don't know if it comes down to the team play between them or if it was just luck in the way the engagements played out. But it certainly
and they actually, in the kind of the sheets they filled out, they actually said that HP sits back and makes the call-outs, and then Moldy is the one getting the kills, and he charges and whatnot. So they have a really good team dynamic where you have one shot caller, and then you got a player that's going to push, clean up those kills, and so it worked very, very well for them. You saw them fighting there. So.
All right. Well, that was a good first round, especially, I think, in the eyes of HP. Unfortunate for the Minnesota Nice guys, but they did come back. They almost brought it back there in the second game. We are going to be setting up for the next matchup. But before we get to that, we're going to take a quick